Hello, dear viewers. Today I'm going to be talking about Bangladesh and whether or not it should have a caretaker government for its general elections in 2024. Let's begin. Hello, dear viewers. I am a global nationalist. I support nationalism in my country, India, and in all countries around the globe. Today I'm going to be talking about nationalism in a South Asian country, that is Bangladesh. Bangladesh is going to have an election in 2024, and I want to talk about something related to that called the caretaker government. The caretaker government is an institution that was instituted in various other elections in Bangladesh, but this time there will not be a caretaker government. And I want to talk about how I think that will affect the election and my opinions. Here, the caretaker government of Bangladesh was a form of government in which Bangladesh used to be ruled by a selected government for an interim period during the transition from one elected government to another after the completion of tenure of the former during the period between 1996 and 2008. In 1990, three party alliances discussed creating a better environment for elections. They jointly made a demand for it, and a caretaker government, abbreviated as CTG, ruled for the period of 1990 to 91. After the forced resignation of the then commander of the military rule of Bangladesh, General Hussein Muhammad Ershad, the three alliances nominated Chief Justice Sahabuddin Ahmed as a chief advisor. The caretaker government was headed by a chief advisor. Later, CTGs were formed within the constitutional framework to manage the elections and transitions of 1996, 2001, and 2006. In addition, an extra constitutional military backed CTG was installed in 2007. It governed the country without legitimacy, but ultimately handed over power to the elected political party following this 29 December 2008 parliamentary election. They were under pressure internationally to yield to a democratically elected government. So we can see that in 2007, the CTG continued for longer than it was supposed to. One of the reforms that the CTG introduced was voter ID cards, which was the first time used in the 2008 Bangladesh general election. The incumbent BNP government in 1996 lost the Bangladeshi general election to the Awami League, which allowed the leader of the Awami League, Sheikh Hasina, to become prime minister for the first time with the support of the Jatiya party. In the 2001 general election, the Awami League was defeated by the BNP, and Zia became the prime minister for the second time. The caretaker government, led by President and Chief Advisor Iyajuddin Ahmed, failed to conduct the 2007 general election due to the ongoing constitutional crisis, deteriorating law and order situation, and the decision of the Awami League to boycott the election. And the 2008 Bangladesh general election gave the Awami League a landslide victory. So, like I said earlier, in 2007, the there was a constitutional crisis because the president and chief advisor failed to conduct the 2007 election, and Awami League boycotted the election. And in 2008, Awami League won the election uh, in a landslide victory. However, that the Awami League passed the controversial 15th Amendment to the Constitution, which abolished the caretaker system. The 2014 Bangladesh general election was the first election since the June 1996 general election to be held without the formation of a neutral, non-partisan caretaker government. The BNP boycotted the election, and then in 2018, the BNP was well aware that participating in the 2018 general election, which also didn't have a caretaker government, was tantamount to giving the incumbent government another walkover. As such, the BNP opted to take part in the 2018 polls, although top leader India was prevented from running due to a conviction on corruption charges. It is now established beyond any reasonable doubt that massive rigging and poll irregularities were involved in 2018 general elections. The BNP has repeatedly declared that it will boycott the 2024 general election if it is conducted without a neutral, non-partisan caretaker government. Now, I think that the caretaker government is a good idea for smaller countries. I don't think it could work for a larger country like India because we can't have a government that's not fully functioned, that's just doing bare basic duties. So I think even during elections, we need our original government in power. The model code of conduct passed by the election commission prevents the central and opposition parties from any activities that might unduly influence the voter. And but for Bangladesh, I think the caretaker government is a good system. They need it, especially since democracy is not very strong there. And so I agree with the BNP that Awami League should not have the election without the caretaker government, but I don't think that they should boycott the election because that just gives the Awami League a full easy win. They should, I think, stand in the election, participate in it, and try to win as many seats as possible and as many votes for the government as possible. Even if you don't win, you can still prevent the um, Awami League from having many seats, maybe even forcing them into a minority government, which will prevent them from enacting laws that are too uh, anti the BNP, anti Islamic ideology in Bangladesh. And I have noticed that the Bangladesh government has spoken to other countries like India and the US to help them win these elections. But I don't think they should be doing that. I think that they should conduct these affairs within their own country and not rely on outsiders to do it. And yeah, I don't think any country should comment on Bangladesh's democracy, any government. I'm an individual, I can comment, but I won't tell Bangladeshis who to vote for. That's none of my business, really. And India should also stay out of it. Whoever wins the election, India will have to work with them as well as we can. So we shouldn't be biased towards either candidate. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Please share your thoughts in the comment section. If you want to see other videos about nationalism in Asia, click here. If you want to see my previous video, click here. If you want to see the sources I use for this video, click the links in the description below. Thank you for watching. Vande Mataram.